right, here we go. Back at it again. What's good? What's good? It's your boy Paul Pickett, owner of Promo Palace LLC. Before we get started, I'm gonna sip some of this water. You hit that click now, subscribe button at right hand corner if you like these vlogs. This one right here is gonna be called Vlog 28, Promo Palace LLC Vlog 28. Why the music business is like the dope game. Why the music business is like the dope game. Vlog 28. I don't know how many people have seen The Wire. The TV show The Wire. It's an HBO TV show. It's based out of Baltimore, Bmore. It's about the drug game in Bmore. Now, ever since I watched that TV show, that's exactly how I view the music business. Like, at least their process of their day-to-day process of how they did things. See, a lot of artists, they go into this mindset that, like, for example, it could be an artist that just recorded their first single last week. And this week, they expect to get paid to perform at a show. They expect to get paid for downloads, this, that, and the third. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Because unless you got consumers and fans, there's nobody to buy your music. Nobody's going to pay to go watch you perform if you don't got fans. Just because you make music does not make you entitled to make money off of it. I repeat, just because you make music does not make you entitled to make money off of it. It takes money to make money. It takes money to make money. All right, now why do I say the music business is like the dope game? Well, if you watch The Wire, and I've watched every episode of The Wire, love it. Love it. Marlo Stanfield, Omar, Avon Barksdale, Stringer Bell, love it. Now, every morning on The Wire, what did they do? They gave away a thing called testers. All right, I'm gonna like double these up so people can follow me. I don't want to go too fast with this. They gave out a thing called testers. What are testers? Testers are free dope. That's what testers were, free dope. Now, keywords are free and dope. So, now, you remember, some of y'all might remember when you go to the grocery store back in the days as a kid, there would be a lady with a table, and she would have little hors d'oeuvres, and she would be giving out samples. What are those? Testers. Testers. Free food. Free dope. Like, that's the thing. Like, the best way to get somebody hooked on something is to give them a little taste. Give them a little teaser. Like, this idea, like, if you're an artist that you just made music, your first single last week, and you're trying to make everybody buy your song right now. Well, what if they buy your song and they all don't like it? That's the last time they buying your song ever again. You know why? Because you didn't put out a tester. You didn't put out a filler, as we like to call them in the music business. You got to test the oceans, test the water. Because if one thing I know about artists who make music that are coming up-and-coming artists, all of y'all think y'all got a hit record. 100% of y'all got a hit record. And 99% of y'all don't. I repeat, 100% of y'all think y'all got a hit record, and 99% of y'all don't. You might have a good record. You might have an average record, above average record, a below average record. But this idea that 100% of y'all have a great record and an instant hit is false. Fairy tale, imaginary, bogus. It's make-believe in your own little world. Because in the real world, that's not how it works. Hit records are hits for reasons, And you could when you typically see a hit record, that I'm talking about the supermassive hits, like Justin Bieber, Peaches comes out, and you can tell why this song is an instant hit. It's an instant hit. And even Justin Bieber, when he was first getting on through the MySpace days, he was more concerned with building consumers and fans and people appreciating and loving the music and becoming fans at first than just trying to get everybody to buy now, buy now, buy now. When you go into this buy now phase and nobody knows who you are, they don't even know if you got dope. If it's dope, they don't know if it's dope. They don't know if it's dope. And what quality of dope is it? Because it could be low quality dope. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the quality of what you got. And you trying to get them to buy something, and if they buy it and it's low quality to them, you can't expect them to buy it again. And they're definitely gonna tell friends and stuff, don't buy that. Don't buy this product, it's no good. Or don't buy this service, it's no good. It doesn't matter what you selling. Music, a service, a product. Music is nothing but a service anyways, because you're in the entertainment business. Entertainment is a service. We're not in the product business no more, because ain't nobody buying albums no more like that. Small portions of people are buying actual physical copy albums. We are not in the product business no more, unless you're talking about merchandise. But guess what? To sell merchandise, you have to have fan base, consumer fan base. And the fans have to think your music is dope in order for them to buy your merchandise. Tech Nine spent $2 million. They spent $2 million out of before they even got to a point to make profit. Tech Nine spent $2 million before he got to a point. Not he, actually, his business partner. But before they got to a point where they made a profit, they spent $2 million on Tech Nine. And so, which means they gave away a lot of free stuff. A lot of free music to build that fan base. It wasn't so much buy now, buy now, buy now with everybody. It was build, 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 build. Okay, now we're at a point where we've built enough to say buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now. But the music business is like the dope game, man. This idea that all these rappers that made a ton of money at first. No, they spent more money than they made at first. All rappers that make it spend more money than they make at first. Once they get to a certain point where they've built consumer fan base, then the money, it's coming. But it just doesn't come when you got no fans just because you made a song and you think it's hot. That's not how it works. So you got to be willing to give away a song for free. We're not saying you got to give all your content away for free. You need to find your dopest song. And that's the song you need to be giving away for free. Your dopest song needs to be given away for free to build fans, to get them hooked, to go buy the other stuff, to go run to the other music and stream it. That's how it works. This idea that you're going to make an average song and you're going to sell it and they buy it and they're just going to run and listen to all your other stuff. No, they're going to be highly disappointed. If I buy something, if I pay for a song I ain't never heard and it's average once I get to it, you ain't getting this penny out of me ever again. Because that's not how it works, man. People buy something they ain't heard before. They want it to be dope. They want it to be dope. And not low quality dope or average quality dope, or they want it to be dope, 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 the high quality dope. So the best process is just to get them hooked. Give them that hot song. Make them love it. Make them love you as an artist. And then if they want anything after that, then you have to pay. But all you artists that go into this buy now, buy now, buy now, how's that working for you? How many fans you got buying your albums and buying your singles? Because don't even throw in the streaming. I'm talking about buying your album and buying your singles. You know, that's when you know you got real fans, when people actually buy the downloads and they actually pay for the album, the downloads. Because streaming doesn't say much until you get to a certain point where Spotify is throwing you on their top playlist. Until you got a certain amount, till you got a million, like, you know, close to like hundreds of thousands of listeners, like 500,000 to 1 million listeners. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, Spotify would never throw you on no major playlist unless you got like a massive amount of listeners already, you know? And so that means you're going to have to spend a lot of money to generate that amount of listeners. You got to spend a lot of money to get to the point to generate that amount of listeners. And I guarantee you won't be making a profit off of streaming because you'll be spending more than you make. And that's okay. Because when you're trying to build consumers and fans at first, you know, there's plenty promo company. Like me as a promo company, what do? Like when artists come to me with trying to submit to my playlist, I give them a free submission. I hit them with the free submissions first. I don't go into buy promos now. No, I go into this submit to the playlist for free. Submit to the playlist for free. And then I'll follow up with you submitted. Now let's go up to free promo doesn't get you nowhere. Because all the top influencers aren't going to promote no unsigned artists for free unless you're their best friend. All the top blogs are not going to just promote an unsigned artist for free unless you're their best friend. All the top playlists on Spotify aren't going to add your music to the playlist unless you're popping. It ain't even going to work if you're the best friend. Unless you're popping. And to be popping on Spotify, you had to spend a lot of money to advertise and build a brand and get fan base and consumer base. Like, for example, Murray from Fayetteville, North Carolina, my home. I know that the people invested a ton of money into him. But Murray hasn't made a ton of money yet. They haven't made a ton of money off of Murray yet because touring just opened back up, first of all. And when you spend almost, 200,000, 250,000 on an artist, this idea that you're going to make it back off of streaming right away? No, it's not going to happen until you start touring and selling the merchandise. And that involves having fan base, consumer fan base. Everything for artists leading to consumer fan base requires marketing promotions and requires money. Like to build, there's no business on the planet that's building consumer base without spending some kind of money on promotional items, whether it's flyers or business cards or websites or social media ads. You're spending money on something, whether you think businesses don't spend money when they send out coupons? Yes, they pay to send out coupons. And they ain't making no money just off of the coupons until they come in drones. It takes money to make money in every business. But the music business seems to be this business where artists want to make money without spending money. And it doesn't work that way. And guess what? You can't expect a big percentage when you don't spend no money. You getting a small percentage, a small turnaround when you spend no money. Because this is a business. Businesses have to advertise and promote and market to consumers. If a business wants to get radio ads, they're not getting radio ads for free. And they're not getting radio ads just because your best friend works at the station. No, you're going to pay for them. You might get a discount, but you're going to pay for them. It is an advertising platform. You're not getting ads free on Google. You're not getting ads free on Facebook and Twitter just because you know somebody who works there. No, you're going to pay for them. And you're not getting a discount either. We got to stop it acting like just because you make music that it's just some valuable, you struck gold. Just because you make a song that we've struck gold. Nobody struck gold until we see how many consumers are willing to buy this. And it really saddens me. Like actors, like you look at an actor, man. An actor has to play on Broadway. Actors have to do roles on Broadway. And trust me, Broadway actors aren't making a ton of money. Actors have to, every actor in the business has to do a bunch of small role movies that don't get no notoriety, no publicity, really like that. They're really just flop movies. They all got to do them to just prove that they can act. Whether the movies are small or not, they all do these small little role movies. But musicians they're not willing to do any kind. It's like artist makes a song last week, and this week he wants to get paid to perform at a club. He expects 1,000 people to download it for 99 cents, and he expects tens of thousands of people go and stream his music, and he ain't put $0 in advertising promoting, and nobody even knows who he is yet, but a few of his friends or whoever just recorded his music. Come on, man. Like y'all don't want to take the journey. Y'all don't want to take the time, the process. And trust me, the process was totally changed in the music business. It ain't like back in the days where you just have a street team in radio and you break every artist. No, nowadays, no up-and-coming artist is breaking on radio. No up-and-coming artist is breaking on radio. And I ain't saying street teams can't still help, but street teams are really irrelevant right now until this COVID restrictions are fully lifted. Because a lot of people still ain't letting you hand them flyers. They still ain't shaking your hand. They still ain't dapping you up. They still don't want to be 6 feet. Some people are still wearing masks and others aren't, So the climate is really shifty with shows anyways and hand-to-hand stuff. So everything is really totally digital, especially during COVID. Everything was 100% digital during COVID. If you think you was hitting a street team during COVID, you were sadly mistaken. Your fairy tales, imaginary, made up, bogus things. Because nobody was street teaming. There was even no festivals. Like South by Southwest isn't even allowing people back in yet to a festival. They're not even trying to do physical people yet. They're doing everything Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Even like sports shows still ain't even full like everybody back in the studios 100%, There's still restrictions, So this idea that traditional methods work. Traditional methods don't work. We use non-traditional methods to break artists nowadays. It's not radio and it's not street team. It's not distribution because distribution is oversaturated with 60,000 artists every single week, or day. I mean, every day. I don't even remember. Is it 60,000 a week is too much? I think it's 60,000 a day. Just you can't even keep up with it. It's so oversaturated. Non-traditional methods are being used. We use influencers on TikTok, influencers on Instagram, influencers on YouTube. You advertise on YouTube, you advertise on Instagram, you advertise on Facebook, you advertise on Twitter, you advertise on TikTok. You advertise on the blogs. You don't just pay to get on the blogs. You advertise with the blogs. Then they'll take you more serious. They're not going to take you as serious when you just pay for a post as they would take you if you paying for advertising. Don't forget to hit that click now, subscribe button in that right-hand corner. So the music business is like the dope business. It's like the lady in the grocery store giving away free hors d'oeuvres. It's like that. You got to give away a free dope song and get them hooked on everything else. Then you go in this buy now. But you go in this buy now of every song you got. And if you ain't got a dope song in there, it doesn't work. Because you ain't got crack. You got Fugazi crack. You got that low quality crack that fiends ain't coming back for. And people also got to understand quality in the music business. High quality, low quality, you're recorded. Nowadays, it is, even though there's lo-fi hip-hop, lo-fi hip-hop isn't necessarily a low-quality recording. It's just really the vocals are lower than the beat. But this idea that you could just have a crappy recording and that's acceptable nowadays, no, it's not. It was acceptable in the 90s when we recorded over karaoke's. But it's not nobody should be recording over karaoke's this day and age. If you are, you're the amateur of all amateurs. There is no reason that nobody can't record at home nowadays. You can't give me not one artist trying to say he's trying to make it in the music business can give me a valid excuse of why he can't afford a microphone, a mic stand, and recording software. If you can't even record, if you can't even afford that, you're in the wrong business. Don't quit your day job. Don't quit your day job because you got people paying $85 an hour to record in the big studios. 85 or more an hour to record in the studios because that's what they're paying here in the Ville in the top studios, $85 an hour. You know what I'm saying, to record in the studios down here. So it's more in New York and stuff like that. So if you can't even afford your own recording studio, and I've never really let nobody record my stuff for me because nobody knows how I want my stuff recorded, you know. And I've always just, and it's not even just that, it's just I've always been independent with everything since day one. Even when I was an artist I did shows every single where in North Carolina. I would go to the spots that say enter at your own risk that nobody else would go to. That no out of town, I'd be the only out of towner entering at your own risk. Everybody else would be in towners, know the scenery. I'd be the only out of towner. I would perform on the worst neighborhoods and perform at a church next week. I would anywhere I could perform, I was performing. Live on TV, a block party, enter at your own risk, might get shot at and killed. I'm performing. Bought my own CDs, printed up my own CD covers, did everything myself. Every single thing, manufacturer, distribution, everything myself. I've always been independent. I live independent. I've been self-employed for over a decade. I do not like relying and depending on people because you can depend on yourself more than anything. And that's another thing. You artists got to stop putting your goals and dreams and careers in everybody else's hands and control. When you go into a major label and they put up all the money, you're putting your goals and dreams in their hands. Because if you're not bringing no money to the table, you have no control over this. You got no real, your say-so is minute. It's small. If you're not being like Jay-Z and them, they brought money to the table. They were paying for things themselves. They paid for the tour themselves. They didn't sit back and let Def Jam pay for the tour. That's why Dame Dash was flipping out. Like, why are y'all passing out jackets like this is a Def Jam tour, like a Def Jam Rockefeller tour, when it's a Rockefeller Def Jam tour because Rockefeller paid for the tour. And that's what Jay-Z and them do to this day. Beyonce, they buy out the venue. And that's another thing. Artists, I got the artist that's buying out the venue and trying to put on his own show, that's the artist I got the most respect for. Than the artist that think he should get paid to perform at a show, but he has no real fan base. Nobody's even buying your music online, downloads. If nobody's buying downloads, then why are you thinking you should get paid to perform? Because nobody's going to buy a ticket to watch you perform if they're not buying downloads of your album or your singles. Streaming doesn't count. Streaming doesn't tell you that what kind of fans you have and if you got fans or not. Anybody can get streams. People can buy streams. They could buy plays. It doesn't mean that you got fans. If they're not following you and they're not running to go listen to all your music every time. That's what a real fan does. Every time Joyner Lucas comes out, I check his song out. Even though he's disappointed me a lot of late. Joyner Lucas disappointed me a lot of late. I still have to check it out as a fan of Joyner because I know Joyner, I've seen Joyner do some great things. I became a fan of Joyner because he was a great artist and I felt he was great. But now he's doing average stuff. And that's the thing. You can't raise the bar so high as an artist on yourself because then we expect you to be that great all the time. We don't want you, you can't be doing great things all the time and then you start putting out average things back to back to back to back to back. That's not, you lose our interest. Like I've never seen Drake really put out average hits ever since day one. He always just seems to find a new way to put out another hit that can top another one, and this could top another one. I mean, he just put out two of his biggest hits in the last 2 or 3 years, you know, and he's been in the game for at least 10, 11 years. He's going a decade strong. So the music business is like the dope business, man. The legal dope business. It's like the wire. You got to give out a tester. And my advice is you take a music video of your tester and you advertise that music video until it hits. You advertise it until it hits. If you truly believe that you got a song that's a hit, you advertise it till it's a hit. But you don't just advertise it for 30 days and stop, or 3 months and stop. You advertise it for 365 days or more. If you ain't advertising a song for 9 months, excuse me. If you're not advertising a song for 9 months, what are we talking about here? Because nobody's breaking records. No up-and-coming artist is breaking a record in less than 9 months. Nine months to break a record. Unless you're Drake. Unless you already got consumer fan base. And a lot of it. A ton of it. But it takes 9 months to break a record nowadays for an up-and-coming artist. Because it's a process. So this, if you're not even advertising for 365 days, which is only 4 months longer than 9, I mean, what are we talking about here? You know, if you think you could just advertise for 3 or 4 months and you're going to make it, no, that's fairy tale, imaginary, made up, bogus. That's 90s. That's 90s. This isn't the 90s no more. Stop it, man. This isn't nothing like the 90s where distribution had all the value. Distribution has no value no more. Because some people could just exclusively sell it on their website and make more money, like Ryan Leslie. Distribution has no value when 60,000 songs are being uploaded every single day, or every week for that matter, or even every month. If 60,000 songs are being uploaded every month, distribution has no value. Because if you think, I know 100% of artists think that their song stands out among 60,000, but it doesn't. It's not solely the songs that stand out. Sometimes it's the pink, the purple, the hair, eating the cockroach, and wearing a diaper at South by Southwest. Sometimes it's the antics that stand out. It's the antics that stand out sometimes. Not just solely the music. And music doesn't brand itself. It has to have a face. The face has to have an image. The image has to have a personality. A lot of things go into this. Like Kawhi Leonard, for example. I'm a sports podcaster, so like example, a cat like Kawhi Leonard makes for the worst kind of rapper. He has no personality, whatsoever. Like he's the worst guy to interview. He just better be making super hot music. If not, why would you cling on to him? Even as a basketball player, he has no personality. He can't be the face of Kawhi Leonard can't be the face of the NBA. He's not even the face of whatever shoe he is, because I mean, he's so boring. He's so boring. He's no personality whatsoever. So a lot of things go into this. Dame Dollar, yeah, he's got more personality than Kawhi Leonard. You can see, and he raps. You see him on that Hulu commercial. You see the personality come out. That's why he got more. His commercials are bigger and they're better for branding and whatnot. But this music business is like the dope business. You have to sacrifice a song to build a fan base. You got to go through the actor mode. Like, rappers don't sacrifice. Musicians, period. Y'all don't sacrifice like actors do. Y'all don't sacrifice nowhere near. Y'all don't want to sacrifice your money. You want the process to be super, super fast when it's not. You want it to speed up somehow, and you want to take shortcuts. And, I want to pay to get verified and pay to get 1 million followers. How do I do that? Okay, but you're still not going to be nowhere. It's still not going to do nothing for you because you still have to advertise and promote and build a fan. You can't just buy followers. You got to build a consumer fan base. You can't just get verified, and things like that. You know what? And I'm going to get into that. I'm going to do my next vlog. I'm glad I brought that up. My next vlog is going to be let verification come to you. These people that's trying to pay for verification, okay, when you get verified, it doesn't mean nothing. You still ain't got no fan base. You still ain't got no consumer base. Because if you did, you wouldn't have to pay for verification. They would just verify you. So music business is like the wire. It's like the dope business. It's like the lady that gives out the free hors d'oeuvres in the grocery stores that you don't see no more. You just give out a free little taste. That's all they did, a free little taste to get you hooked. If one song is just too much for you to sacrifice, then you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong business if one song is too much for you to sacrifice to build fan base. And in another vlog I'm going to do is going to be fan base versus royalties. Actually, you know what? I think I already did that. I got so many of these now. I did that. Royalties versus fan base. Like, you artists, you got to decide. Are you making music for royalties? Are you making music for fan base? Because the artists that are really making money off of royalties have fan base. And if you're just making money just to make royalties, then typically you don't have enough fans and a lot of fan base. You're not making a living off of your music. And until you're making a living off of your music, what are we talking about here? We're talking about your hobby is still, you're amateur. It's a hobby and you're amateur because you're not a professional musician. I repeat, you are not a professional musician until you solely make a living off of your music. Till your music solely pays all your bills. Your light bill, your water bill, your cable bill, your TV bill, your rent, your groceries. And it buys your wants. Until it pays all your needs and takes care of some wants, you are not a professional musician. You are amateur. I repeat, until you pay all your bills off of music, you are not a professional. You're an amateur. Or if you don't like that word, guess what? Then you're a part-timer. You're a part-timer. You're not a full-timer. You're a part-timer, which is still kind of amateur because you're not even good enough to get full-time hours at the job. Part-timers don't get full-time hours because, let's be realistic. They're amateurs. They're usually probably kids going to college and that don't want to work hard in life anyways right now. Just working for a paycheck. And that's another thing. I've never just worked for a paycheck. That's the problem in society. Most people work in society don't know what they're working for. I never just worked for a paycheck. I work to invest some of my paycheck. Since day one, I've always worked to invest some of my money, some of my paycheck into something greater. And now for the last decade, what have I done? I work for myself because I've always known what I'm working for, and it wasn't never a paycheck. And I've always understood that business in general is like the dope business. Business in general is like the dope business. Giving away free samples of something that's so damn good. Like when Chick-fil-A gives away a free chicken mini, you're running to go buy chicken minis, man. You give away a free chicken mini. Here, try a free chicken mini. As soon as you eat that chicken mini and you get to the line, yeah, let me get some chicken minis. Because what are we talking about here? They got the best chicken sandwich and chicken nuggets on the planet. So you give somebody a free chicken mini right before they get to the register. I don't care what they was buying. They might still buy that, or they're even switching to chicken minis. They're adding chicken minis too. They might, like, if they was going to get a chicken sandwich, they're getting chicken minis too. Now, or they might just say, you know what, screw the chicken sandwich, I'm just getting chicken minis. Because that's how it works. When McDonald's gives you, they just give you 2 or 3 fries before you never even went to a McDonald's and they just give you 3 fries. As soon as you get up to the register, the first thing you're going to say is, yo, let me get some fries. The number one thing on their menu, the fries. Or a Big Mac. As soon as they gave us somebody that's free little sample of that Big Mac. Oh, yeah, let me get the Big Mac. Let me get the Big Mac. You know, that's how you... Krispy Kreme. You get that free donut, that free little, just a free little... You cut up a donut in 5 samples and give them to 5 people, they're buying a dozen. I guarantee it. They're buying a dozen. It's like crack. Krispy Kreme is like crack, yo. And Krispy Kreme could afford to give away just 1 donut to a motherfucker just so they buy 12. I normally don't cuss like that on these podcasts. I don't usually say the MF words. I don't really start calling people motherfuckers and shit. But yeah, Krispy Kreme has got crack. They give motherfuckers 1 donut and they're gonna buy a dozen. Cause I love some Krispy Kreme. Love some Krispy Kreme. It's like crack. It's like legal crack. And the music business is like the legal crack business. You know? And even if your music isn't as dope as you think it is, you still got to treat it like it's the dope business. Because there's always levels to it. There's always high quality, different quality levels to every business. Has different levels, different qualities. You know? That's how it works in business. You know, but it's like the dope business, man. You got to be willing to sacrifice a single. I always recommend it be your hottest single. Your hottest single. You know, like with Murray, they put all the ads into Quicksand. They advertise that heavy, and then they just upload more content in between and let that content just get what it gets off of the advertising fan base and consumer base coming in. Like I said, you give away the first song free, and then if they want more, okay, then they got to stream that over and over again, or they got to buy the download over and over again. But you don't, you know, you advertise one song constantly until you know that's, if you think this is the song, that's the song you advertise until you get to your fan base point where you can start saying, all right, buy now. Because then when you get to once you get to a certain point of consumer base and you go, like, they basically start selling it for you. They start word of mouth and it like, yo, you heard this artist, check them out. But you got to get to a certain point of fans before they start just sharing your stuff with everybody and it just spreads. You know, it's got to be a certain amount. And a good starting point, minimal starting point is like 10,000 fans. 10,000, until you've reached like 10,000 fans, you shouldn't even be in the buy now mode yet. Because once you make 10,000 fans, you can make 100,000 or more a year off of 10,000 fans. Easily. But 1,000 fans, you can make about 10,000 a year. And yeah, that helps, but that ain't get 10,000 a year ain't paying the bills. That don't even pay my rent. You know, that don't even pay the rent, you know? So yeah, man. Y'all gotta manage y'all's expectations too as artists. All y'all, like 100% of artists got this expectation that it should get signed with a major label and the floodgates should open. No, there's levels to this. Some artists should be signed to majors, some to indies. Some should just stay independent themselves. And some will probably be like Ryan Leslie, where they'll have about a good, 10, 20, 30,000 fans, maybe 40, 50 worldwide. And that's all they need because they can tour. And Ryan Leslie, he's playing the piano, so he could charge $40, $50 a ticket. And have 1,000, people come watch him perform. Do your math. And then they're buying downloads, they're buying albums because he sells a lot of stuff exclusively. And he knows who his fan base is because they keep track of their database. And that's another thing. Most of y'all artists don't even got databases of fans. Y'all got no email database or no text message database. And you trying to convince yourself you got fans or trying to convince other people you got fans. No, because every time Joyner Lucas drops something, I get a text message. All his fans do. You know, and you don't got you got no real fan base if you don't have a database sending out, you know, music every time you releases. So let's stop it, man. The music business is like the dope business. You got to be willing to give out testers. And you ain't got to give out testers every morning like The Wire. You got to give out one tester. One tester until that song gets you to the point where you got a certain amount of fans. But it's this idea that you're going to get on less than 365 days is fairy tales. It's fairy tales. And this idea that you're going to get on without investing money into this, that is fairy tales. Somebody's got to invest money. And if you ain't invested the money yourselves, this idea that you should own the masters and you should own this, that, and the third is fairy tales because you ain't even put nothing into it. Making music, once again, just making a song has no monetary value whatsoever without consumer fan base or without bringing money to the table or unless the song is an instant hit. And like I said, 100% of y'all think y'all got an instant hit, but 99% of y'all don't. Stop it. Everybody doesn't make hits. It's not reality, man. It's not even reality, you know. Once again, hit that click that subscribe button. My name is Paul Pickett. This is Vlog 28. Why the music business is like the dope game. Don't forget, the audio version of my vlogs will go to my podcast, the Paul Pickett Podcast, which you could Google. Also is available on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, Slacker, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and a dozen other platforms as well. Audio Boom, Audio Burst. Don't forget, check out my website, promopalace.biz, for online marketing and promotions for music or brands. Don't forget to check out newlitter.com, New Litter Apparel. Let me stand up, show you the shirt. New Litter Apparel, you see it. It's for all you dog lovers out there and you animal lovers. We got New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. Also, check out dizzlebrand.com. That's Dizzlebrand Liquor at dizzlebrand.com. You can hit me up at promopalace1@gmail.com and Paul at promopalace.biz. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Vlog 28. Why the music business is like the dope business. Don't forget that click now. And if you're on Instagram and Facebook, hit that follow. I'm out.